Hey y'all, my name is Litta Monea and I'm here with Joy.
Hey.
And we're about to get into her mental health check-in video. You ready?
Yes.
Alright, so just to break the ice, because mental health is a topic that people don't like touch on too much, I like to ask first, what would you rate your mental health right now? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best.
I would give it an 8.
Okay. What's the components of your 8?
Good being, the 8 being just figuring out how to talk to people about being emotional or feeling a certain way. Because people will be like, you just sensitive. Or you just need to drink some water. Like, back in the day, they used to like, just drink some water. But I feel like me just being more spiritual, being able to talk to God now makes it better. Even though on this, I feel like in this world, you can't really talk to everyone because they just don't just throw it like, oh, it's okay, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good number.
Yeah.
Me, honestly, I would say now that I'm actually stepping into what I want to do, I give myself a good 7.5. Only because I'm my judgment kind of cloudy right now because I told you I just quit my job.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I gotta build myself up. But now I feel like now that I'm putting myself into my journey full time, it's gonna work out. Everything will work out.
Period.
So to go into our first question, how has your support system helped you throughout tough times?
I feel like they help. I will say my mom has helped a lot because recently I was diagnosed with lupus. So that diagnosis made me go through a roller coaster, and you can't just talk to everybody about it and just, people don't understand what you're going through at the end of the day. And just my mom being there during the process has helped a lot, especially just me waking up in the morning feeling down or sick, and I'm just like, who am I gonna call?
Yeah.
I call my mom, and that's the really only person it's sad to say, not many friends. That's also my own stuff as well, because I don't want to, be a burden to people.
Yeah.
Or just put that on people. So I just let me just call my mom. So I feel like that's one person who I could say that's my whole support system at the end of the day.
Yeah. How long ago was it when you got diagnosed with lupus?
Probably 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. My cousin got lupus. That's why I was like, when you said that, I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That, I don't know what it feels like, but me when I was watching her, because she's way older, but she had it so long, now it's kind of catching up to her. So it's just like, girl.
Yeah, you see, it's just crazy. That's why I really be so mindful what I eat, staying healthy, staying active, because that also help with mental health. People don't be realizing oh, I'm gonna go to the club every night. I'm gonna do this and do that, and they're why am I feeling so sad, or why am I feeling so depressed? They never been to the gym. That activity, even just walking around, that just makes me feel already so better. Just being outside, and being around nature in general, that helped mental health so much.
Yeah, when I went through my little heartbreak, whatever, when I start going to the gym, because mind you, I'm a girl that don't go.
Yeah, for real.
When I went to the gym, I was just like, oh, okay, and I started going more and more and more. Never paid for the membership, but I would still go get the little free pass. And I was just like, let me just go ahead and try it. So I when you go to the gym, it do feel good.
Yeah.
I wish I was more disciplined with myself to just keep going, but I know in my head if I actually put it on there, I could.
Right.
But yeah, definitely find new hobbies other than clubs and stuff. Because I even got out my club promotion group that I was in.
Really?
Yeah, I really took myself out of it. And it was just because I just wanted to do more.
Yeah, it was the same. I even just coming back, visiting the same. I went outside the other day, it's the same people.
You're not missing nothing.
I'm not missing nothing. It's the same people. For real, it's wow, y'all still doing the same stuff. It's and then I be wondering, I be thinking now, because my mom used to always say, when I would hang out with certain people, you gonna miss out. You gonna, I'm like, no, we having fun. When I moved to LA, they text me on the same stuff, and I'm just like, oh, she right. She really is. Yeah.
Kicked in real bad.
For real, I was like, dang.
Okay, that's good. So for our next question, what is your earliest memory of your first friendship?
Being on a long time ago. She actually passed away, Rip Natasha, but in Highland Park, I used to have a cousin who I would always go. I would just always be at her house,
and we would just always be outside and just having fun and being kids. And it's just like crazy to see, like, once again, the different routes people go. So it's just like, dang, like that was my best friend growing up, and it's just like, dang, no, it's different people, we just grew. Or another example, I had a childhood friend named Michaela. We still talk on Instagram and stuff, but that was crazy as well. Like, you just be outside. Like, I just miss those days where you could just be outside all day.
Kids don't even go outside no more. Like, I used to
They
make
be on the
mud
phone all day.
pies. I used to be on those hot boxes. I don't know if you ever seen those, like, it's connected to some type of electrical thing. But
Yeah,
I was on there with all
I
my
remember,
friends,
yeah.
And I would just be like, I don't see no kids doing that.
No, they just always be on the phone.
But like, your friendships play a major role in your mental health too, because it's like, then you start to think when you are older, how did that affect how you are friends with people now? If you can make friends now, you can't make friends then, or if you was even a good friend to those that was around you then.
That's true.
So that's why I started incorporating like the friendship questions, because a lot of us, we are so comfortable with cutting people off. It's like, can we have a conversation?
Yeah, communicate. People don't communicate no more. And that's one thing, like, I will say that when you communicate, don't just yell. Like, if someone, are trying to argue, then that's when I'm like, okay. But people don't want to sit down and actually see both sides no more. It's just like, if that person got their mindset on one thing, like, they never wrong, they don't have any issues or anything, like, then you just like, okay.
It's like a point to prove competition.
Yeah, and you just like, I'm trying to talk to you, you know? But those friends, that's what I will say, that, like, now that you mentioned it, those friends that did stick around and communicate, I'm still friends with them now to this day. And I'm just like, dang, like, all you have to do is communication. Communication is key with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's hard, that's, like, hard for people to communicate now, because of growing up, like, maybe they didn't have that communication growing up, or they felt like belittled, or like, oh, I can't say nothing. Like, they just don't want to confront people. So it's just like crazy. Growing up now, I'm like, oh, dang, I gotta communicate.
Yeah.
Like, I really do.
So, to keep going, so when you feel drained, how do you regroup?
Self-care. If I'm feeling drained, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna be outside. Like, I'm gonna go sit by the beach or by the water or in nature in general.
I see you a hiker.
Yeah, I love hiking. Like, people be like, dang, you be in there. It was like, yes. Because it's like nobody out there but you. And like, I'm hiking up, so I'm getting closer to my spiritual source. So I'm just like, yeah, I gotta, it's just so peaceful. And like, whenever I'm feeling drained, I either do self-care, like I put a face mask on and lay down and read a book, or just go out in nature.
I want to skydive.
Really?
I feel like my mental health would go way up if I go skydive.
I be saying that to people and they be looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm like,
I was trying to do that when I was in California last time. It was only $350.
Really?
With the video.
But you did that one thing. What did you do? That one ride?
Screenshot.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I was like, she did this for real. Like,
I want to skydive. We only didn't skydive because she was scared to go.
Yeah, because
and I was just like, I was ready. I was like, I
You
got my
would've
car
did it.
right now. Let's go.
for real.
Because we
No.
had one day where we did absolutely nothing.
And that was the one thing you wanted to do.
That was the day we did the slingshot. Now we gotta do that.
Yeah.
I've been saying that's on my bucket list. Like, I just feel like that's something I need for my self-care. I need to go skydive.
Right, for real.
Are you a person that holds grudges?
No. I feel like maybe the old me I did, but now it's just like I can't hold. I'm like, no. Like, for example, recently I lost a few friends recently, and I'm just like, I can't hold that grudge because you never know what they was going through, for real. And that holding that grudge and trying to figure out why do they do this and do that, it hurts to lose people, but it's like, I can't be mad at you. Like, I just pray that you get better and you just, maybe I'll see you around, you know? Like, I can't hold grudges anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really holds too much weight. Because I was the person that held grudges.
Yeah,
Like,
for real.
I'm not gonna lie. I would sit here and I would hold the grudge. But it was like, my grudge was me trying to figure out ways to get you back. And that's too much energy. Too much energy into somebody else when I could have been doing something else. And when I started pinpointing the stuff that I was doing, I was just like, That's why I'm mad all the
Right.
time. I'm mad at the world because I'm trying to figure out what I can do to somebody.
To get back. And that's real stuff though, because like people like it's sad to say, it's a saying like get back.
Mm-hmm.
We get back game. Like no, that's move on.
Yeah, it's very
Like do better. Your get back will it be you thriving, doing new stuff. Like that person will be like, dang.
They don't want to come back.
Yeah, they're like, how's she doing that now?
Mm-hmm.
Like what you doing? Instead of being on Instagram sub posting, that's what I used to do. Low key, but being on Instagram sub posting, trying to find like no, I'm just gonna be like, okay, let me get straight to it.
You moving to LA, like how was that? Like did you already know people out there or did you have to kind of?
Well, I have family out there, but meeting, that was when I started going through that being nice. Because in LA, you could just kill people with kindness. People move a certain way. And that's one thing, tying back to mental health. Like, you gotta protect your mental health. So if someone moving weird or trying to use you for something, don't like let that eat you up. Like, oh my God, why am I like this? What's going wrong with me? You just gotta go out in LA and just keep it real. That's why I feel like Detroiters thrive everywhere because we gonna keep it real. Like we just not gonna fall into the energy there.
Yeah.
And not saying LA is bad. Like I love the people in LA.
I love LA.
Yeah, I love
it's
LA.
animated though.
Yeah.
When I went to the beach the first time and I looked up and it was just shadows and mountains, I was like, I'm in the game.
For real, GTA, for real. I be like, every time, sometimes I be just riding around like, damn, this on GTA. I be forgetting. And I'm like, oh, let me get back. This is real life though. And that's what it is. Like, for real, people come out there for the first few months and like, oh, this is LA. And then stuff gets serious because you really gotta have that hustle and that's what Detroit hustle hard, for real. Like, you gotta have that hustle mentality whenever you go. Anywhere, really, but especially in LA because people, yeah.
Did you have any separation anxiety when you went out there from like your mom or anything?
Yeah, because like I said,
that's your support.
That's my support. So her being so far, it was just like, dang, like, who am I gonna call? Like, yes, I have family there, but it's not the same at the end of the day because she know me. She's known me my whole life. So it was just like, dang, like, and then like I tried to make different friends out there, and it was friendships, and then it turned just envious type of vibe. So it was just like, dang, like, this is my sign to just try to figure out on my own life. Like, life, for real. Like, you in a different place, a different town. Like, you just trying to figure everything out. Like, it's like a refresh, like a restart. So it was different, for real. Like, it was like a roller coaster. But now I'm like smooth sailing. I know where to go, who to be around, the different scenes, you know? Just staying protected.
But to keep pushing, because this is great. I'm so happy we linked, like.
For real, no, that's what I'm saying. Even while we're here, because we got the same mindset. I like how you doing this journal. Like, I really, really do, because, and especially in our community, the mental health is just so bad. Like, it's not talked about enough, because we supposed to just swallow it and keep pushing because that's how our parents were.
Yeah, but I'm working it for, like, I just left a cycle work.
Exactly.
Like,
so you see it. You see how bad it is. It's like we have enough people doing all this other stuff, but we don't have enough of us in the mental health field or us talking about what we can go through, like mental, like everything that happened all leads back to mental and your health. And it's just like, people just laugh about it. Because it's like, when you bring it up, especially, it's just like, they don't think it's serious, but it's like good that you bring in like this journal and just checking in on people. Like, people need that, like that question. How do you rate your mental health? You know how many people need that question? Like, that's just crazy. Like, I feel like this is good.
Thank
this
you.
Gonna go places, for real.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
It needs to be done.
But what I want to ask you now is, who do you feel like you need to forgive right now?
I feel like I
need to forgive a lot of people, but the one person I feel like I need to forgive is, even though they never said sorry, but I'm gonna just forgive them. My dad.
No.
My dad, because he tried now, but at the end of the day, like most parents, he wasn't there, and he was living his life too. So like he trying to figure out himself too. Parents were their first time being parents. A lot of them, So I'm his only daughter, so it's just like the stuff he put me through and the stuff I've seen him do, and him trying to change now. It's like I should, instead of holding it in and just being like, oh, he gonna change. No, I'm gonna just forgive him, because you can't change people. I'm learning you really can't change people, no matter how hard you want them to be a certain way. It's just like they never gonna see it. They just gonna be like, they stuck in their way. So it's just like, I forgive you. Even you don't even gotta say sorry, but I forgive you.
Yeah, and that's what you need sometimes. Like, you don't need no closure, so
Right.
You don't need nothing. You just need to forgive it in your own mind, soul, spirit, and keep it pushing. Because honestly, you don't move on if you don't forgive
Right.
people doing you wrong. You can't hold that in, because that's exactly why I was guarded. I was still holding them grudges around people wanting an apology, being entitled to an apology that I'm not entitled to. They don't have to say nothing to you, because at the end of the day, they chose to do that.
Right. Exactly.
They chose to do that,
And they
that's
not
what
gonna
they
feel-
want to do.
yeah.
So they're not sorry about it. So once you forgive yourself for even feeling a way towards something, then everything comes back into life. Good self check-in was needed.
For real.
But we gonna keep going. Keep the vibes going. Do you journal?
Yes.
And which ways do you journal?
I try to journal, I try to do it every day, honestly, to get, like how you mentioned before, like having that support. That's, instead of holding it in, I try to write it out on the journal.
Okay.
And not only just that, as an artist, I like to just write my thoughts out, because you never know what it can turn into.
Yeah.
So I just try to do that, because they even say, like, when you first wake up and you just write, you already helping your brain move in the morning. So I try to do it.
And it helps with your memory.
Yes, and I need that. So that's, especially just writing it down, like your to-do list. Like, I can just do that in my journal, and I remember everything. I don't even gotta look at it, because I wrote it down. So it's just like important, and a lot of people don't do that no more. Like, even with just typing a to-do list, it's not the same as writing it.
Because I don't even look at my notes again.
Yeah. It's all, like, if I go through my notes right now, you like, dang, all the way from 2018. Yeah. Because I don't check it.
Okay, I love that you already journal. My favorite type of journaling that I did not put in here was lyric therapy. Well, I did put there. It's lyric journaling. But if you'll listen to your favorite song, and you'll write down what part of that song really made the most sense to you, and if you feel at that moment. Because when I got my heart broke, I was listening to so many sad songs, and I would just write out what verse or what the hook was that made me feel like, oh, you feel like that too? And then I would just write why I feel like that, and then it would feel so much better. Like, it's so much. This is my personal journal right here. Like, I haven't even gotten to mine yet, but it's so many different songs here, and I was just like, I feel it, and I start cussing somebody off. Like, I love journaling, and when I got this idea, it was because in college, when I first got into college, a month before my boyfriend died. So, like, I was going into school by myself. None of my friends went to my college with me. So it was like, I seen him die on the video at that. I wasn't there, but somebody sent me a video of him bleeding out. So it was like, that is mentally straining when you're trying to get a degree too. So I was in school, filling out applications to drop out of school. So I was just like, oh my gosh, like, my roommate didn't understand nothing. Like, I would sit over there, like, this is how big my dorm was. And our beds is like this. And I'm just in my bed just crying. Like, she not understanding. And then it got back to me that she would go to her friends and be like, I don't know why she acting like that. So it's like, you don't understand pain. That's what that is.
It was lost your
Yeah.
first,
Not my first.
but your
My
boyfriend.
boyfriend.
But that's like real, like, especially going to college, like.
So it was so much that I had to really, like, shift and put together. Like, I was not there. So when I would journal, I didn't know how to journal at first. So it would be teardrops on the paper. It would be ripped up stuff in it. But then the dean, he didn't let me drop out. He ripped up my application. Like, I was on the full ride tuition. Like, I didn't pay for nothing, and I was ready to drop out.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
he ripped it up. He's like, no, I'm in this multicultural initiatives group, so they wasn't letting me drop out either, because we're all about like the diversity and stuff.
Yeah.
So they said no too, and I stayed, and I was just like, it was such a blessing that they did that, and I stayed because I ended up only being in college for 3 years. I graduated at 20 years old, and after that, I got awarded like an entrepreneur,
That's
like for the
amazing.
school, and I was the first one to get an entrepreneur like at Oakland. So I was just like, okay. So now I make my journal yellow because our favorite color was yellow. Whenever we said like I love you and stuff, it was yellow heart. So now all my stuff is yellow. Like my social media is just yellow. And that's the background of it. And after my freshman year, I started learning how to journal because I took like a writing class too, but whatever.
Right.
My handwriting got straighter, my pages, it was like bullet points, it was all types of journaling in there. It was just me just being able to discipline myself to sit down. Like that was my moment to just sit down and reflect on everything because they didn't understand I was a PWI. So
I know
they
that.
don't understand. So once I actually learned how to journal, it was like that helped me see my personal growth. That made me see like my healing process and everything. So that's why I made the journal too. Like everybody needs something for their sacred keeping.
Right.
Y'all, this has been our mental health check-in. I'm here with Joy again. Also, we are at the Shoe Doctor.
Shoe Doctor, we clean shoes. You bring your shoes in. We open every day till 7. We have 2 locations in Detroit, here on the east side of East 10 Mile and Roseville. And then we have one on the west side on 7 and Livernois. Same time. I believe they may close a little bit later, but it's a family-owned Black business. This location, woman, it's like the other location is ran by the owner's mom, so it's really all he got a woman backbone. His support his women, so y'all need to come support instead of just going to throw your shoes away. Come here to get them clean. I just dropped off my pairs to get clean. Like it's really for real. Bring them in. You know, we'll talk about that, but it's what's up. Like this is they really take their time to get your shoes back to life.